कृष्ण कृष्ण मन मोहना कृष्ण कृष्ण मन मोहना चित्त चोरा राधा जीवना चित्त चोरा राधा जीवना कृष्ण कृष्ण मन मोहना कृष्ण कृष्ण मन मोहना चित्त चोरा राधा जीवना चित्त चोरा राधा जीवना वेणुधारी जगन्मोहना वेणुधारी जगन्मोहना ब्रिजवासी नन्दनन्दना ब्रिजवासी नन्दनन्दना ब्रिजवासी नन्दनन्दना मेघश्यामा मधुसूदना मेघश्यामा मधुसूदना राधाकान्ता यदुनन्दना राधाकान्ता यदुनन्दना कृष्ण कृष्ण मन मोहना कृष्ण कृष्ण मन मोहना चित्त चोरा राधा जीवना चित्त चोरा राधा जीवना चित्त चोरा राधा जीवना राधा जीवना। बोले राधावर कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Out of the 18 Puranas which are there, the sweetest and the most popular one is Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurana. It is Mahapurana because it has only 18,000 verses. Anybody wants to take it for study group, verse by verse, feel free to. But the beauty is, even though there are these many verses, one who has studied, digested, taught, reflected, such a great Mahatma can bring to us the essence of this voluminous text called Srimad Bhagavatam. These 18,000 verses, the essence of it has been condensed in 31 verses by none other than our Pujya GuruJi. So recently, Pujya GuruJi did a camp on Bhagawata Sandesha, which I was very blessed to attend. Many of you are also there. And that camp was just divine. How Guruji summarized those 18,000 verses, found the essence of it, and presented in 5 days in 8 sessions. So Niloma said we should reflect on it today. I was very happy because it is said after you do Shravanam, you should do Mananam also. You have to reflect upon it. And one good way of reflecting is to again revisit what you have heard end to end. If you can verbatim reproduce it, that also is an accomplishment. Because sometimes what happens, we hear something, understand something else, and if you ask that person, what did you understand? Something totally different comes out. So if you are able to even go through it again, in the precise way in which it was given to us, that also is a support for Mananam. So in this session, let us try to do this Mananam together. Those of you who have attended the camp, you can walk along with me. If you have not attended the camp, this is your first introduction to Bhagawata Sandesha, then Pujya GuruJi's discourses are available online. It is also coming now in Doordarshan. The Hindi talks are coming, but our CCMT YouTube channel has the talks. So please do listen to them. You'll enjoy it even more. Pujya GuruJi started the camp by saying, there are many things which we can know. Then there are things which we want to know. There are many things which we can know. There are things which we want to know. Then there are things which we need to know. And finally, there is something which we must know. Now this talk is going to be a mix of two, okay? What Pujya GuruJi has shared in the talk and little bit of what Mananam we can do on top of it. Now what are the examples of these 4? What I can know, what I want to know, what I need to know, and what I must know. See, what I can know is infinite. So many sciences are there. So many types of knowledge in the world is there. It is unending. So what I can know is infinite. But we all have our own tastes and interest. Not everybody likes physics. Not everybody likes music. Not everybody likes Vedanta also. So from that can know, we get a subset which is what I want to know. What I want to know is decided based upon my vasanas, my inner interest, my ruchi. Now, I might know so many worldly things, but what I really need to know is how to live my life according to dharma. That's why in Bhajo Govindam, Shankaracharya says, Nahi nahi rakshati dukrun karane, samprapte sannihite kale, nahi nahi rakshati dukrun karane. Sannihita kala there means whenever difficulties come in our life, secular knowledge alone will not help us overcome those difficulties. How to overcome challenges in our life, how to face challenges head on, how to live a cheerful life. As far as dharma is concerned, that is something I need to know. See from where we have come, Can know infinite things. Want to know my interest. Need to know how to live my life cheerfully, holding on to dharma. What I must know is nature of God. What I must know is my own true nature. That is the beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam. It will tell us what we need to know and what we must know. That is one topic which Pujya Guruji had mentioned. Then this Srimad Bhagavatam, what is the glory of it? One thing we have to notice, it is not merely a book. Just like you have physics, chemistry, math book, it is not Srimad Bhagavatam book. That Srimad Bhagavatam is the form of Lord Krishna. Because when Bhagwan wrapped up his avatar, he put all his teja, his brilliance in Srimad Bhagavatam. So the one who reads it, reflects upon it, turns mind towards what is pointed in it, will taste the presence and bliss of Bhagwan Krishna. That is why in Bhagavad Katha also, puja is done of the text. You don't need separate vigraha of the Lord. Because Bhagwan and the book, they are one and the same. Have you seen or not in Bhagavad Katha, the pothi will be kept, then the arti happens of that pothi. That is this understanding that Bhagavatam is Bhagwan Krishna himself. That is the glory of it. Now, this 18,000 verses, how did Guruji bring those 31 verses? There is one framework Pujya Guruji has used. Wherever the word etavan or etavat has come, the essence of Bhagavatam lies in that. Etavat means this alone. This alone. So in whichever shloka it is said, this alone you have to understand. So he said this shloka is, we have to pay more attention to it because it carries the tatparya, the essence of it. Now to help us understand these shlokas, Pujya Guruji divided them into 4 parts. The first one is dharma. So in entire Srimad Bhagavatam, what is mentioned as the essence of dharma? That is the first one. Second one is jnana, knowledge. In Bhagavatam, what is mentioned as essence of knowledge? Third one is yoga. What is the essence of yoga? And fourth one is bhakti, devotion. So what I'll try to do is just cull out the important parts in all these 4 topics. See, we cannot go verbatim recap in one session of 8 sessions. So we'll try to not get into the shlokas as much, because once you enter one shloka, it takes around 15 minutes. So I'll try not to go into the verse, but just the main summary about dharma, about jnana, about yoga, and about bhakti. Otherwise, these topics, we have heard about it, but if somebody asks, okay, what is the essence of bhakti? It is very hard to precisely point out what is devotion, what is the essence of knowledge. So Bhagavatam gives that essence in a very sweet format. Okay, everybody ready? Before we go into the verse, we have the invocation verses. There are 2 invocation verses. Why do we do this verse? Why do we do this invocation before? Pujya Guruji mentioned whenever we have to start some work, we have to put forth our effort. If you invoke the Lord before starting that work, then the effort gets empowered. That effort gets divinized. And the moment we start doing something, what rises first is our ego. I did it. Let's say somebody is composing some lyrics. While composing, he might compose with whatever mindset. But once he has composed it, what is the thought that can rise, what generally rises in our mind? I composed it. So whenever the I rises, the purity of that work gets diluted. And so many great Mahatmas, they composed such great literature without even leaving their byline. One good example is Panchadashi. 15 chapters on pure Vedanta. But we still don't know whether it was Vidyaranya Swamiji or his Guru who composed it. Their state of mind was so elevated, they did not bother about doership. So this Mangalacharanam is, Bhagwan, I have to invoke my ego, but maybe invoke it in a way that this ego doesn't interfere. Sattvic ego, may that sattvic ego, which reminds us that we are instruments in Bhagwan's hand, may such ego be used, not otherwise. Then the invocation here is from Dhruva Stuti. Dhruva was this little boy who got insulted at home. And this little boy walks away from his home, probably 8 years old, On the way he meets Naradji. Naradji tells him, you are a little boy, what is insult for you? He says, I am a Kshatriya. I can bear pain but not insult. I am a warrior. My pain tolerance is very high, but insult tolerance is not that high. And he says, I want to go and do tapasya and attain whatever I want to attain. Then Naradji gives him mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Somebody recently asked me, what is the difference between Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya and Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama? Both are mantras which point out to Bhagavan Krishna. But this Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, the source is not very well known, or at least I don't know it. But that is the bhavana that we have in our heart. But this mantra was given to Dhruva, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and he does intense tapasya. Bhagwan appears in front of him. But his eyes are closed, and he doesn't even know that Bhagwan is standing in front. Now Bhagwan is in a fix, He has come from so far, for whom he has to give darshan, and the one who is wanting darshan is closing his eyes. So he withdraws his form from Dhruva's dhyana. And Dhruva opens his eyes, looks at Bhagwan, but his absorption in the Lord is such, no words come out. Then Pujya GuruJi explained, Bhagwan takes his conch and touches his cheeks. What comes out from his speech, that becomes the invocation. He says, Bhagwan, you are the one who enlivens this dormant speech and all other sense organs. That is what you do sitting inside. To that Lord I bow down, one who is Lord of this entire universe. So this is the invocation. Second invocation is also very beautiful. Second mantra says, there are 6 things which will live amidst. You see whether these things are there in your life or not. The first thing is Shriyaha. Shriyaha means wealth. Some wealth, some kind of material thing will be around us. Shriyaha. Second is Yajna. Our own effort that we put in different things. That is the second thing we live with. Shriyaha, then Yajna. Third is people. In this point we don't have any doubt. We live with people. No matter where you go, they have a book, right? No man is an island. you have to live amidst people. That is called as praja. Third one. Fourth is we have to live with our own intellect. Dhiyaha. Our own intellect we have to deal with. How many are done? Shriyaha, Yajna, Praja, Dhiyaha. Dhiyaha means intellect. Fifth one is our house, Loka. Wherever you go, you have to live somewhere. That is your Loka. And the last one is goal of life, Gati. Gati. Now what is the invocation here? Bhagwan is the protector of all these 6 things. So he is Shriyapatihi, Yajnapatihi, Prajapatihi, Dhiyapatihi, Lokapatihi and Patirgatihi. So Pati means protector. One meaning of Pati is protector. So we might be living with people and we might think we are protecting them. But what does this invocation say? Remember that Bhagwan is the protector of everybody, including me. And the second meaning of Pati is Lord. So wealth might be there with us. What is devotee's mindset? Who is the Lord of this wealth? One who is Shriyapatihi. All wealth belongs to Bhagwan. To that Bhagwan we bow down. And the prayer here is, may Bhagwan be pleased with me. Whether world is pleased or not is secondary. Primary question he asks is Bhagwan pleased with me? Now you should reflect on your own. What are some situations where Bhagwan is pleased but world is not pleased? What is an example of a situation where world is pleased but Bhagwan is not pleased? Not right now, think about it on your own. That is why I said Guruji's statements, they are all like sutra vakyas. More you think about it, more you reflect upon it, greater we can benefit from those sadhanas and pointers. But this prayer here is, may Bhagwan be pleased with me. That is the invocation prayer. Pujya GuruJi also mentioned very beautiful sadhana pointer here. In fact, after coming back from the satsang, he said, the most important thing in the class today was this. What is it? He said, if I belong to God, how can anything else belong to me? If I myself belong to God, how can anything else belong to me? If you want to make it even more applicable, add the word worry about anything. Worry about anything. If I belong to God and everything that I have belongs to Bhagwan, how come there is worry about things which are connected to me? So one by one to remove our worries is a never-ending project. So what is the pointer here? Surrender yourself to God first, wholeheartedly. And if I am convinced I belong to God, why worry about things which belong to me? They also belong to Him only. Now in these 6 things which were there, what was the Sanskrit word for intellect? Dhiyapatihi. So Lord of intellect is Dhiyapatihi. So here Guruji mentioned a very nice point. He said nowadays we talk about artificial intelligence, AI. We should not forget one who is behind this AI is HI, human intellect. Because human beings only have given the data set to train. How did the AI come up with its algorithms? Human mind only has given it. And he said behind that human mind, HI, human intellect, is DI, divine intellect. The cosmic intellect, which has all knowledge, one small drop comes as human intellect. That human intellect is able to do so many other things. The prayer in Gayatri Mantra also is Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. May that cosmic intellect shower brilliance onto this individual intellect. That's okay, it's okay. Okay, so this was the invocation. Now there is introduction to Srimad Bhagavatam. What is this Bhagavatam? The introduction verses say, this Bhagavatam is something which is at par with Vedas. Whatever reverence we have for Upanishads, whatever reverence we have for Vedas, the same reverence we should have for Srimad Bhagavatam. So much so that what is not clear in Vedas or in Vedanta, examples will be made clear in Srimad Bhagavatam. So one example I will give. Have you all heard about ladder of fall in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita? How does it go? Dhyayato vishayan pumsah sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho vijayate. Then krodat bhavati sammoha sammoha smriti vibhramaha smriti bhramshat buddhinasha buddhinashat pranashyati. That is the complete ladder of fall. First he started by brooding over something, then he got attached to it, then anger came. Anger covered his intellect, and finally he perished. Now this is two verses in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita moves on. Texts like Srimad Bhagavatam will not move on like that. They will tell you a story. Naradji was there, who was coming one day. He got proud of his tapasya. Then Kamadeva came. Still he did not get disturbed by Kamadeva. Felt very proud. Went and bragged in front of Lord Vishnu. Then Bhagwan Vishnu deludes him by creating one Maya. Vishwamohini is there. And in that Swayamvara he is given Hari Rupa, monkey face. And that same Naradji, who had conquered over Kama, he gets so upset, so angry, and curses Bhagwan himself. That is how Bhagwan had to be born as, he had to take avatar as Lord Rama. Because Naradji cursed him, you took my Vishwamohini away, you will have to be born as a prince, as a king, and your wife will be taken away because of this. Imagine what kind of Maya it must have been. Now what is this? And I fast forwarded the story at 10x. Because one story you can go on for 15-20 minutes. That is not the point here. The point is to appreciate ladder of fall in 2 verses, Bhagavad Gita. But same thing elaborated as a story in Puranas. So Gurudev would call this Puranas as poetic philosophy. If you go deeper into the story, you will find deep philosophy hidden there. Okay, so this is one introduction. Second introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam is, the purpose of composing this is for Nishreyasa. What is Nishreyasa? So there are 3 words. One is called Preyas, another is Shreyas, third is Nishreyas. So Guruji gave very precise definition of these 3 words. What is Preyas? It's that which is dear to us. Not necessarily good, but we like to do it. What is Shreyas? Shreyas is that which is good for us. And Nishreyas is absolute good. Nishreyas is absolute good. ये आवाज कम हो गया. And on Nishreyas, I think Guruji spent around 10 to 15 minutes just on this one word. It's sweeter in Hindi. He said, what is true Nishreyas? Sharir swasth ho, body should be healthy, मन शुद्ध और शांत हो, mind should be peaceful and pure. Mind should be peaceful and pure. बुद्धि स्पष्ट हो, intellect should be clear. And last one was आत्म स्वरूप में समस्थिति हो. Our mind should abide in our own true nature. To help us accomplish all this, that is the purpose of composing Srimad Bhagavatam. How to purify the mind, how to quieten the mind, how to make the intellect sharp, and how to abide in the self. You know, some places they call it as one stop to shop. Some malls are like that, you know. You don't have to go several places to get different things. Grocery also you will get, apparels also you will get, everything in one place. Bhagavatam is like that. You want guidance for day-to-day life, you want devotion, you want Vedanta, everything packed in one place. That is the beauty of this text. Another thing Guruji addressed over here, he said, we study Vedanta for a long time. But we might feel sometimes that Vedanta is not effective. Vedanta is not working for me. He said, what should we do if this is the case? We have to see whether we are studying Vedanta with a worldly mindset or a spiritual mindset. Guruji called it as sannyasa mindset. What is a worldly mindset? Studying for the sake of something in the world. What is sannyasi mindset? Studying to understand our own self. No other goals. That's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, the speaker is Shukdevji Maharaj, listener is Parikshitji Maharaj. Shukdevji Maharaj's greatness is, his mind is ever in the truth. And it doesn't stay in one place for more than Godohana Vela. Godohana Vela means how much time it takes to milk a cow. Only that much time he will stay in one place. Otherwise he keeps on moving. And Parikshitji Maharaj, he has 7 days to live. No other goals. He says, please tell me how I should get liberation. What should such a person think about? Those are ideal, that's an ideal pair of teacher and student. Teacher doesn't have any other goal other than liberation. Student doesn't have any other goal other than liberation. There is a nice story in our Upanishads. Brahmaji one day advertises. He says, I have some nectar, very unique nectar, having attained which you will become immortal. I am going to give that nectar, distribute that nectar. Whoever wants can come. You can go beyond death if you get that nectar. Indra Bhagwan, who is king of all devatas, he says, I want this nectar. He applies to this program. He sees the advertisement, The king of Asuras is Virochana. Now he also comes to know that Indra is going. That is why he says, I also want to go. So out of competition, out of some kind of jealousy, he also goes to study from Brahmaji. When they go there, they realize Brahmaji is not giving some physical object as nectar. What is he giving as nectar? Brahma Vidya. He says, if you gain this nectar, you will go beyond birth and death. And Brahmaji's teachings are very terse. He doesn't give elaboration, example, stories. He only says, whatever is seen in the right eye is Brahman. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnada, done. His class is only that much. First he started with Sahana Bhavatu, one sentence, Purnamada. Now this Indra, he starts thinking, what is seen in the right eye? He starts reflecting. Virochana, he sees in Indra's right eye. And he sees his body. And he concludes, body is Brahman. He says, I knew this before coming also. Brahmaji only confirmed my understanding. He says, worship this body. And he goes back. That story is traditionally explained, traditionally told to explain this point. How if we study Vedanta with wrong intention, the result can never be Amrutam. If our intention is something of the world, result can never be immortality. All these Asuras also studied Vedanta. Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, everybody studied Vedanta. But what was their goal? I should become immortal as this body. You see the difference. Vedanta is telling us you are immortal. You are not the body, therefore you are immortal. And if we study it with wrong intention, one will seek immortality at some worldly plane. So that was the sadhana, how to make it more effective. Now there is also the invitation, to study Srimad Bhagavatam. The example given is very sweet. If you are having a mango, if you are just given the mango without any knife or anything, how is it to eat that mango? Those who are good at it can know the trick. But it is some effort. But let us say somebody takes out the pulp, puts some elaichi in it, does some nice post-processing, makes amras. What is the effort in drinking amras versus eating mango? No effort. You don't have to worry about the seed, just drink the amras. He says Srimad Bhagavatam is the amras. The essence of devotion, essence of knowledge is given to us in easy to swallow format. The stories, the different analogies, examples, they make this very sweet. Everybody is with me so far? I mentioned this right in the beginning. We are trying to look at 8 days in one class. So by this time we are already on day 2. Okay, 2-hour session we have covered right now. Now, Pujya Guruji, before going into the Sandesha of these 4 topics, what were the 4 topics? Dharma, Jnana, Yoga, Bhakti. Before going into this, Pujya Guruji brings one verse on what is the highest pursuit of human birth. Because Parikshitji Maharaj's question was that, I have only 7 days to live. Please tell me what I should do. So in Bhagavatam it is said, the highest pursuit of human birth is Ante Narayana Smritihi. Ante means at the last moment, remembering Lord Narayana. Entire 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is to explain this point. How to get that Smriti at the last moment. Meaning person who has lived remembering the Lord every single day, at all times, his last thought also will be of Lord. And whatever is our last thought, that is the next destination. So whatever is our mati, so will be our gati. So one meaning of Narayana is Bhagwan Narayana, with his form, in whatever way we have understood the Lord, thinking of the Lord at all times. Second meaning of Narayana is beautiful. Narayana, you can split it into two words, Nara and Ayana. So what is Nara? Nara means the group of all jivas. Nara means a jiva. Summation of all jiva is Nara. And Ayana means essential nature, Swarupa. So what is the essential nature of all jivas? Brahman, Atma. Existence, consciousness, bliss. That is the Swarupa of all jivas. So what will be the meaning of Narayana Smriti? Smriti of Brahman. Not as something different, but as our own true nature. Remembering our own true nature as pure consciousness, existence, bliss, that is the supreme most purpose of human birth. Ante Narayana Smriti. With this, let us see in brief the essence of these four topics: Dharma, Jnana, Yoga, Bhakti. In Dharma, Srimad Bhagavatam says, this alone is the essence of Dharma. What is it? What good we can do to others. Wherever Bhagavan has placed us in our life, there will be people around us. What good we can do to others, there alone lies Dharma. You see, such a practical definition of Dharma. Sometimes we connect Dharma with rituals. Ritual also is Dharma. But what mindset should we have? How should we live our life? What is a dharmic life? Srimad Bhagavatam says, genuine concern for other people and having compassion for others. That is Dharma. If this definition we appreciate, we will notice each interaction, every person who is around us gives us an opportunity to practice Dharma. So we are grateful even for those who are in need, because we can practice Dharma in helping them. That is given as the essence of Dharma, feeling compassion for others. Now the second essence was very beautiful. This was Lord Shiva telling to Parvati ji. Parvati ji, this is the story when the Devatas, they are churning the milky ocean. They thought very nice things would come, but what comes first is poison. And they don't know who wants this, who will be able to handle this poison. Nobody wants it. Then Bhagavan says, go to Lord Shiva. He is the only one who can handle it. And Lord Shiva, it is said, asks Parvati Devi, is it okay to drink? And Parvati Devi, while they are discussing, Lord Shiva says, the greatest dharma is to serve with compassion. Because we might serve somebody, but if we don't have our heart in it, or if we feel we are greater because we are serving, you see, there is slight correction which is needed in that mindset. Serve with compassion, that is the greatest dharma. While explaining this story, Pujya GuruJi mentioned a beautiful sadhana pointer for all of us. He said, Lord Shiva holds poison in his throat. What does it symbolize? He said it symbolizes the ability to digest bitter experiences. The ability to digest bitter experiences. And Guruji has also written one couplet on it. He said, Meetha meetha sab chahe, kadwa na chahe koi. Everyone wants sweet things, nobody wants bitter things. But second line is nice. Jo kadwa pacha sake, mukta bhaye so hoy. One who can digest this bitter experience, bitterness, for whatever reason, that person becomes liberated. That person is free. Then if we ask, some experiences we can understand how to forbear. But there are some very bitter experiences. What to do with them? And Guruji said, this ability to bear bitterness, it's a virtue. And any virtue that we have, it is either 0 or 1. Either 0 or 100%. Then he gave an example, if somebody is honest person, he says, I am 90% honest. 90% honest is dishonest only. So any virtue we take, it has to be, we have to strive to live it 100%. We might be imperfect, but we should not justify that I have 50%, it's okay. 50%, I don't mind not having it. So he said, for digesting bitterness also, apply the same principle. I cannot say, just like I cannot say my ability is to be 90% honest, I cannot say my ability is to digest only 90% bitterness. Seeking Bhagwan's blessings to go to the maximum. That was the second essence of it. Third essence was in the story of Naradji and Daksha Maharaj, Daksha Prajapati. Naradji gives teachings to Daksha Prajapati's children and makes all of them sannyasis. Daksha Prajapati wanted to increase this creation, expand this creation, and all his children end up becoming sannyasis. So he gets very angry at Naradji and he curses him. You cannot wait in one place for too long. You will constantly keep moving, otherwise everybody there will start following you. Now, when Daksha Prajapati curses Naradji, Naradji was powerful enough to curse him back. But he does not curse. He forbears the curse of Daksha Prajapati, considering it to be Bhagwan's blessings. He says, very good, I can reach out to more people. So you see, his strategy after that changed. Naradji, initially he himself would give advice. Later on, he would find the right student, make them meet the right teacher, and say, you give advice to him. He still continued his work. But the dharma part here is, in spite of having the ability to be powerful, in spite of being powerful and having the ability to take revenge, not being revengeful is dharma. In spite of being powerful, not taking revenge, that is essence of dharma. This person knows revenge has never brought good to anybody. Okay, so this was one. All of you are with me? We are actually at day 3 right now. The next essence of dharma is the story of Dadichi Rishi. Dadichi Maharshi, he was a great tapasvi. I don't know if you know, our Paramveer Chakra is designed based on Dadichi Maharshi. Because his sacrifice is considered to be the highest order. So Devatas approach him and they say, we want to make a weapon. He said, sure, make it. He said, no, we need something from you. to make that weapon to fight Vritrasura. Dadichi Rishi says, what do you need? Indra Bhagwan says, your backbone. Because that is the only thing which we can use to make such a strong Vajra. And Indra Bhagwan says, anyway you have risen above the body. Body is not of any use to you. Dadichi Maharshi understands, they are in need. And he tells one shloka which highlights the essence of dharma. He says, essence of dharma is in delighting in the joys of others and feeling sorrow in the sorrow of others. If you are able to do something, one should do it. But at least this emotion of sorrow should come if somebody else is in pain. And if somebody is happy, instead of becoming jealous, sharing our delight in their happiness. Generally, one is able to practice this with their own near and dear ones. So if child is happy, parents feel happy. Child is sad, parents feel sad. Same thing one has to expand to neighbor's child also. That is sadhana. More one can expand this I, to that extent we will be practicing dharma. Then the next essence of dharma which is given is, in our life we will have many people who are in need. They might be elderly people, they might be physically unwell, or they might be going through some difficult time. One way of practicing dharma is to feel genuinely concerned for them and to remember them. To remember those who are in need, Bhagavatam says that is dharma. To understand this one, we have to put ourselves in that person's shoe and see. When we were in difficulty, either physical pain or some kind of difficulty, if some friend of ours remembered us and genuinely tried to help us, what did we feel? We felt a lot of peace. Whether that friend was successful or not is another matter. But at least he remembered me. He says that is the essence of dharma. So just think about those who are in need right now and find time to reach out to them and genuinely feeling concerned for them. The last point about dharma is developing love for God. Wherever, whatever work we are doing, through that work, healthy detachment from the world and more attachment, love for God, that is dharma. So out of these 4 topics, first topic we saw a bird's eye view, dharma. Are you all ready to go to the next topic? Okay. Second topic is jnanam. Now imagine this. Upanishads, there are so many Upanishads, 108 Upanishads. So many mantras which are being spoken in each Upanishad. This is going to tell us what is the essence of this knowledge. What is it that we have to pay attention to? Interestingly, the first topic in Jnanam is related to Guru and Shishya. Because knowledge cannot be gained by reading. By reading alone, let me put it that way. One Mahatma Ji would nicely say, जो पुस्तक है वो उस तक नहीं पहुंचा सकती. पुस्तक उस तक नहीं पहुंचा सकती. पुश तक पहुंचा सकती है It can get you started. You might feel inspired. Oh, this is such a nice topic. This is what I have to learn. That much it can do. But to take you to your goal, we need a guru. So the first topic in Jnanam is, when this student gains knowledge, student is learning from his guru, he feels deep gratitude for his guru. Feels indebtedness to his guru. How should he repay the indebtedness? Srimad Bhagavatam says this indebtedness should be paid off by the student by offering everything to the guru, including himself. Offering everything to the guru, including himself. Meaning what? His mind should be tuned with his guru. Whatever the guru does becomes his ideal. Whatever the guru does, however the guru has lived his life, he says that is my instruction of how I should live my life. And whatever guru has not done, he says I should definitely not do that. This was the dialogue between Bhagwan Krishna and Sudamaji. They are recollecting the greatness of their guru. And he says, whatever indebtedness we have to our guru, we should repay it by offering whatever we have. And second is, by offering ourselves to the guru. Offering ourselves is the greatest offering. Whatever guru wants, he lives his life according to that. Now we are entering a little bit of Vedanta. The second essence of Jnanam is one who is a jijnasu, one who is a seeker. He should seek that which never gets negated. Never gets negated means what? It stays in all three periods of time. It does not come and go. That is your truth that you are seeking. That alone is Brahman. Anvaya and Vyatireka. Anvaya means that which never gets negated. Vyatireka means it is there now, but not there at some point. One example we will take. This world that we are seeing right now, is it there at all times or does it get negated? It gets negated. Where does it get negated? In dream and in deep sleep. In dream we have totally new set of people. Sambandha is different, role is different, everything is different. And when we are dreaming, that world is real to us. So this world which gets negated cannot be the truth. See how precise the definition is. Whatever gets negated is not Brahman. So seek that which does not get negated. That is the absolute truth. Come little closer. World is okay. This body, does it get negated or not? Same. In dream it gets negated. In deep sleep it gets negated. Therefore this body is not absolute. Even from Jiva standpoint we can understand this, right? We have had several bodies before. Some Devata body, could be some other forms also. Having travelled all these different sharira, we finally get human body. Look at the beauty of this. Okay, so what is the second message of Jnanam? First message was, student should be indebted to the Guru, offer oneself to the Guru. Then only this knowledge transfer is possible in the true sense. without that kind of surrender, there is some block in between. Our Shravanam will not be very thorough. Second reminder, second essence was, seek that which never gets negated. Just this much definition is there. Third essence of Jnanam was, this world of duality that we see, it cannot even exist without Brahman. World of duality that we see cannot exist without Brahman. Means what? That thing which depends upon Brahman for its existence, we should have the knowledge and the wisdom to go past it and seek that substratum in which this world is rooted in. That is the third essence, that this duality which takes away all our time, attention, energy, cannot even exist without Brahman. That which is dependently existing need not take away all our attention and energy. So Pujya GuruJi gave a practical tip. He said, जिसको आप ज़्यादा महत्व देंगे वो आपके सर पर बैठेगा. Whatever we value too much and give more reality to it, satyatva buddhi and mahatva buddhi, that thing will slowly start occupying our mind. So we have a choice, world and God. If we give importance and value to God, He will start entering our mind. If we get stuck with only this world will sit in our mind. That was the third essence of Jnanam. This is my favorite topic. I can go on and on this. But let us go to the last essence of it. Jnanam, the fourth essence was, Vedas, they are very compassionate. They will start at the level where we are. And slowly they will lift up to the level where they want us to be. So where is our vision right now? When we start our journey, we see this world. So Vedas also say, let us accept duality. So they say there is a Jiva, there is Jagat, there is Ishvara. Three things are there, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. But as they go further, they say, the cause of this entire universe, cause of this entire Jiva is one Paramatma. From that same Paramatma, Jiva has emerged. From that same Paramatma, Jagat has emerged. And this emergence which is there, it is only due to ignorance. The plurality that we are seeing, what we call as duality, plurality, the reason for seeing that is ignorance. Because it is born out of ignorance, it is Maya Matram only. You can negate it. That which is born out of ignorance is not absolute. Therefore, it can be negated. So, having negated gross world, having negated subtle world, having negated causal world, all of you are study group members, I'm not explaining the terms. If you are not, please do join the study group to understand what these terms are. Having negated gross world, subtle world and causal world, Upanishads become quiet. They say there is nothing more to negate. You see for yourself what is that truth. They will not point out to that truth as another object. It's very poetic. These Shruti mantras, Upanishad mantras, they say, we will do this negation. They negate the entire gross world, Maya Matram, negate the causal world because it is seen, subtle world, causal world, everything is negated. Then they just do pranams and they retire. They say this truth cannot be indicated through words anymore. That is the essence of knowledge. That is how we should seek. Okay, so we completed day 5. Now 3 more days are there. So we saw what is dharma essence, then what is essence of jnanam. Third one was essence of yoga. What is essence of yoga? Srimad Bhagavatam says, detach mind from everything and abide in the self. That is essence of yoga. This phrase you must have seen in one of Gurudev's exhibit, one picture where somebody is coming to him while he is getting into a car and says, Swamiji, can you explain me what is Vedanta? He said, 7 days I did Jnana Yajna here. Previous days you didn't come. Last day when I am leaving you are coming. He didn't say that. He just said, detach and attach. What is essence of yoga? Just this much. From everything, detach and know that you are already attached to that higher. We don't need to attach to Brahman because we are already Brahman. Have you all heard of that chain example in Vedanta? If that chain goes behind and you think it is lost, you search for it everywhere, then somebody comes and shows this chain is already here. Now do you have to find that chain or become one with that chain? No, that chain was already here. I just thought it was not there. Similarly, when we use this phrase, detach from world, that is okay. But we should not say attach to Brahman. What does that imply, attach to Brahman? Right now I am different from Brahman. So detach from world and know that I am already Brahman. Then the second essence of yoga was, if you start analyzing this world, you will find it is full of cause-effect. But if you remain in this cause-effect, you will find that it takes you in a circle. I'll give one example. What is the cause of this body? Karma. Very good. Cause of this body is karma. Who can perform karma? One who has a body. If you don't have body, what karma can you do? So, cause of body is karma and body is needed for karma. You see how it is interdependent? So, Sanat Kumaras, they ask one question to Brahmaji. They say, I went to one Vedanta class, there they told me, detach from sense objects, detach your mind from sense objects. They say, we didn't understand this. Because mind is not mind unless there is a thought of an object. So mind depends upon sense object. Sense object cannot be established until you have a thought of it. Are you all with me? Yes. Mind can be established only when there is an object and you have a thought of that object. If there is no thought, there is no mind. And sense object also is established only when there is a thought of that object. So both are interdependent. So how can I separate mind and sense objects? Brahmaji said, first of all, I don't understand your question. Forget about answer. But I know somebody who can answer your question. So he calls out to Bhagwan Narayana, who comes as a swan bird. That is called as Hamsa Gita. But the message he gives is beautiful. He says, don't try to find out cause effect between mind and objects. Know that mind and objects are a projection in consciousness. Mind and objects are an appearance in consciousness. So in a way, rise above this pair of duality. That is the essence of yoga. Okay. Now comes the last topic, which is bhakti. So we saw in brief dharma, jnana, yoga. And the last one is bhakti. What is the essence of bhakti? Srimad Bhagavatam says, essence of bhakti is putting our wholehearted effort to understand the oneness between Jivatma and Paramatma. How we are one with God, understanding this oneness clearly, wholeheartedly, that is bhakti. And Pujya GuruJi quoted Pujya Gurudev's definition of bhakti. Narada Bhakti Sutra, he mentions this. He says, love is measured by our identification. Any two people, how do you know you love A more over B? The one with whom you identify more, one with whom you feel one. With that person, we have more love. So what is supreme most love? Complete identification. Knowing that we are not two. That is the supreme most bhakti. Second definition of bhakti, essence of bhakti, is given by Prahladji. Pujya GuruJi explained, Prahlada means one whose joy is immeasurable. One who feels, I am always in the embrace of Bhagavan. He says, that is Prahlada. He says, the highest love, highest bhakti is to love Govinda. Love Bhagavan and see that Bhagavan in each and every being. Not loving Bhagavan at the exclusion of people around us. People, animals, everybody is included in that. Seeing that Bhagavan in all, in each being, he says that is bhakti. I had seen one nice painting, in that Gita Press Kalyan magazine. They had a tree, and inside that was Krishna. Grass, inside that was Krishna. Cow, inside that was Krishna. Very beautiful depiction, Everything is an object, but seeing our Ishtadevata inherent in that object. He says that is bhakti. Imagine, our vision towards this world has to change if we get this mindset. Our interaction, our reverence with things have to change. It is just like this. If I show you one box, you might say, oh, this is a box. But if I tell you, this is Taponji Maharaj's box, what has changed? Box is box. But because you have reverence for Taponji Maharaj, and this object belongs to him, our reverence for that box has grown. Same with the world. World is world. But if we get this understanding that this world belongs to my Bhagavan, or you say, Bhagavan himself is appearing as this world, then our transaction with world changes. Then the third essence of bhakti is through a story of Bhagavan Krishna and Sudama. We know the story where Sudama wants to get something for Bhagavan. His wife, she goes to several homes, gathers some poha. And Sudama brings. He actually did not want to go. But his wife tells him, you go. Maybe he will give something. Bhagavan will give something so that our situation can be better over here. So Sudamaji meets Bhagavan and he was very hesitant, Such a great person. And I brought only poha. That too different mix. So some thick poha, some thin poha, everything is mixed. But Bhagavan asks him, did you bring something for me? He was hesitant. He sees the rice, snatches it from him and starts eating. He eats one fistful. Rukminiji says, that is enough. And Pujya GuruJi brings out the essence of bhakti through her one word, that is enough. You remember how the verses are chosen? Etavat, etavan. Wherever that word etavat comes, essence is there. So what is the essence here? He says, even if a person brings fistful of rice, if he has brought it with love, that pleases Bhagavan than anything else. He is hungry of our love. Even if we are doing rituals, that ritual is very important. Our own daily puja, daily sadhana that we do, nama japa that we do. But how do we know if Bhagavan is pleased by it? The question we should ask ourselves is, are we doing it with love? That action is a means to express that love. Isn't it true with people also? Somebody gives us something. Our joy of receiving that thing is greater when we know the love of the other person. Love he is expressing through this object. But object minus love will not make us content. So same thing with Bhagavan. He says, that which is given with love pleases me the most. So Pujya GuruJi here has written one verse, very sweet verse. He says, Patram Pushpam Tandulam Va. Patra means leaf, Pushpam means flower. Phalam Toyam is there in Bhagavad Gita. Fruit or water. He has changed it to even rice. If somebody brings patram, leaf, flower, or even rice. But with what bhavana? Yome bhaktya anayati. He brings it with love. Then what do? Tadaham bhakti upahritam. I receive it with love and hrutva ashnami. I snatch it from him and I eat. Bhagavan, why do you do this? Madatmanaha. Because I don't see any difference between him and me. He is my own self. He has attained the highest blessing of devotion. So in all these verses, Pujya GuruJi kept highlighting what we need in our sadhana is bhakti. That is true. But that bhakti should be Tivra Bhakti. Tivra Bhakti means intense devotion. Ramakrishna Paramahansa says, we shed so many tears for this world, jugs of tear. But the one who sheds tear for the Lord, one who wants to attain Bhagavan, doesn't shed tears anymore. He says, if we shed tears for the Lord, we will definitely attain Him. So that Tivrata, intense seeking for Bhagavan, he said that is one quality that is highlighted. And along with that is Vairagya. Being very watchful of our mind, making sure that we don't value wrong things. So that was this essence of bhakti. Now the conclusion of it is very nicely put. Srimad Bhagavatam says, one who has tasted Bhagavata rasa, he will not find joy in any other rasa. Particularly not Vishaya rasa. One who has tasted the bliss of Bhagavatam, they will not revel in lower forms of joy. And in sadhana, a sadhaka might struggle withdrawing the mind from the lower. And more we are told detach, we feel it's very hard. So this path of devotion is beautiful. It says don't worry about detaching right now. Just attach to God. And attach with full intensity. So much so that detachment becomes effortless. Then the last part is expressing our gratitude. Pujya GuruJi said we should express gratitude towards three. One is Vedanta, the scriptures which gave us this knowledge. Second is our Guru, Pujya Gurudev, from which this whole Guru Parampara has come. And third is Bhagavan himself. Vedanta, Guru and Bhagavan, making sure that we are ever grateful to them. Then the compassion of Shukdevji is pointed out, where he says to Parikshitji Maharaj, you had some questions, I have answered it. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask. Don't worry about 7 days and the snake coming and biting you. My power is such I can stop that snake also. You ask. But Parikshitji Maharaj says, he just does pranams, he doesn't ask anything more. Means what? By that time, he had risen above body identification. So Takshaka came and he bit the body, but Parikshitji Maharaj had already risen above it. And the moment Parikshitji Maharaj did pranam, Shukdevji Maharaj left from that place. Ideal teacher. He says, there is one very powerful shloka in Bhagavatam, Tvam tu rajan marishyeti pashu buddhim imam jahi. He says, drop this mundane thinking that I am born and I will die. That is your Guru Dakshina to me, he says. After the entire teaching of Bhagavatam, drop this notion that you are the body and you were born and you will die. So to such great teacher, we offer our salutations. Then the last few verses are talking about, may we have devotion to Bhagavan's feet, even if we have to take more janma. Now this topic was very interesting, because in Vedanta they say, moment you have understood this truth, there is no more rebirth. And over here it is said, if you are devoted to the Lord, the devotee asks for Bhagavan, Bhagavan, I am not concerned about rebirth. You just make sure that I don't become worldly again. With great effort I have come on this path, may I not go back. Bharatji also asks the same to Prayagraj. Arathana dharmana kamaruchi gatina chahu nirmana janama janamarati ramapada yaha baradanana ana. I am not asking for dharma, artha, kama. That much we can understand. He says, I am not even asking for moksha. All I am asking for is devotion to Bhagavan. So Pujya GuruJi beautifully explained. He said, don't worry, don't take the onus of rebirth or no rebirth. He said, leave that to God. Why are we supposed to get overly concerned about whether we will have rebirth or not? So Vedanta is saying the promise, we are seeking abidance in this path. So just keep walking. Then the last verse is on doing pranama to Bhagavan. He says the one who does pranama with his heart, sashtanga pranama, doesn't get deluded again. So it was very nice to reflect on this entire session, 8 days in one session. We'll chant Bhagavan's name and conclude up. Rama Nama Tarakam Sada Japore, Rama Nama Tarakam Sada Japore, Sada Bhajore, Sada Japore, Sada Bhajore, Rama Nama Tarakam Sada Japore. Ram 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 Jaya Kodanda Rama, Ram 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 Jaya Pathabhirama, Ram 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 Jaya Pathabhirama, Ram 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 Jaya Kalyana Rama, Ram 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 Jaya Kalyana Rama, Rama Nama Tarakam Sada Japore, Rama Nama Tarakam Sada Japore, Sada Bhajore, Sada Bhajore, Sada Japore, Sada Japore. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.